realities, and here we see two very real objects as they presented themselves to the world prior to September 11, 2001. The Twin Towers, ladies and gentlemen, of World Trade Center, standing on the south of Manhattan, and the photographer taking this picture is having his back to the west, is facing east. The water down here in the front is the Hudson River, so we have south to the right, and we have north to the west. To keep track of the four corners of the world will be important during the presentation, so please stay tuned for that. So this is the North Tower, which was finished in 1970 to a height of 417 meters, 110 stories, and on top of that there was a TV antenna of 100 meters. The South Tower, to the right, was finished in 1973 as well, to a height of 417 meters, 110 stories, no TV antenna. What was the weight of such a tower? Well, it can actually be disputed. The lowest estimate I've seen is 250,000 metric tons. But if you add to that cables, elevators, furniture, computers, people, coffee machines, let's say 350,000 tons. But it's not important. What will be important for the presentation is that about 90,000 of all these tons were steel, because the towers were steel-framed high-rises, consisting of the design of the core, where you have 47 core columns and 336 perimeter columns all the way around. We'll return very much to this aspect. But just to give you a feel for the strengths of these buildings, how they were made. So here you see this is the core column, this is our perimeter column, this is the construction work. So here there's two towers until September 11, 2001, when on the morning of this Tuesday, there was a French TV crew out in the streets following a rookie who is a young man aspiring to be a firefighter. They had been following him for about a month and nothing had really happened. But this morning, there was an alarm coming into the fire station where he was working, an alarm of gas, the smell of gas in one of the little streets of Lower Manhattan. And there was nothing else to do. So what you see here is the fire station chief himself coming out, and he is the guy with the cap.
It was 8:46 in the morning. And then we heard a plane come over, and in Manhattan, you don't hear planes too often. I like the special loud ones.
This was the North Tower, the one with the antenna, which was hit 40 minutes before 9. 17 minutes later, this thing happened.
I've seen it from the front angle before, but not from this angle.
The South Tower, which was hit latest. 56 minutes later, you can see this.
This is as close as we can get to the base of the World Trade Center. You can see the firemen assembled here, the police officers, FBI agents, and you can see the two towers. A huge explosion now raining debris on all of us. So you're out of the way.
This was the South Tower, which collapsed after 56 minutes. And I have the same event in another recording where you can see actually how the top
when you look at it, the building has collapsed. That tower just came down.
Let's go to Bob Bazell, who was at St. Vincent's Hospital. Bob.
Now, half an hour later, well, you can guess what's coming up now. This is the North Tower. Again, I have the same event in another clip, this time taken from New Jersey, from the other side of the Hudson River, on a larger distance, and you can see how enormous these buildings were.
Now people are gathering in large groups, trapped in one corner. I saw some people actually holding hands and praying as a Jersey is an active and closing pedestrian traffic. Some people are walking around for distance, others with their shoes off. And I'm looking at something else as I hear it.
This is not what we are going to deal with, at least not for the first half of my presentation tonight. Because until 4 years ago, I thought the World Trade Center were the Twin Towers. But the World Trade Center was a center. Actually, there were 7 buildings in total. The North Tower was called World Trade Center 1. The South Tower, World Trade Center 2. World Trade Center 3 was the Marriott Hotel, 22 stories here to the back side. Number 4, number 5, and number 6 were relatively low buildings. But World Trade Center 7, like over here, was a huge building. Here's a photograph of the same area taken from the south. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and building 7 is lying on the other side of a little street called Vesey Street. This was a quite much younger building, actually. It was finished in 1987, but it had the height almost half that of the towers, 186 meters, 47 stories, and a footprint a little less than a soccer field. So it was, at least for Danish standards, a gigantic building. The distance from the North Tower was about 110 meters. Here's a picture of Building 7, taken at a time in between the impact of the 2 towers. You see the North Tower was hit here, and this is the north side of Building 7, and it presents itself with a beautiful brown marmor London office building. And who were tenants in Building 7? Of course, there were commercial companies, which are not really important in this connection. The only one worth mentioning is the Salomon Smith and Barney banking company, who had rented the upper 20 floors of the building. So in some connections, in BBC reports, for instance, it's referred to as the Solomon building. More interesting are the federal agencies' offices, bodies in the building. Pentagon had offices in the building